Hello, everybody, and welcome to AGO taking on DreamEaters here in the Loot.bet CS season number 2. My name is Mitch, and with me is Dean, and we're going to be taking you through this best of 3 here between these two teams in what is going to be a pretty interesting match in the upper bracket quarterfinal.
Yeah, it definitely should be, Mitch. We actually seen these teams play recently enough. I think it was like a couple of weeks back, and we had a Dust 2 coming up, which is in this map pool. It was a victory for AGO, I believe. They actually did take a 2-0 that time around, but a little bit different in the map pool. We have Nuke, of course, coming out first. This is the map choice of AGO. DreamEaters then picking Dust 2, and if needed, Overpass left over as the decider. And as we do actually see that knife round going in favor of AGO, they're going to have the option now to start off over on the CT side of Nuke, which is, of course, really good for them, especially with it being their map choice as well. Personally, I prefer to kind of, if you choose the map, the other team gets the side choice and then a knife for the decider. But for AGO right now, this is pretty much the perfect position to be in.
Yeah, I think I certainly agree that's a better system in general, that the other team gets to... if on your map pick they decide what side, it kind of balances it out a little bit more. Now AGO are in a very powerful spot on their map pick. Now I think they would have preferred to have a train out, but of course DreamEaters decided to ban that as their first ban. Definitely the right call in this situation, because we have seen just how competent AGO can be on a map like train. Nuke in general, not a strong map for them, but it's not a strong map for DreamEaters either. Both of them have only one win in the past 3 months, with 4 and 5 plays for AGO and DreamEaters respectively. And coming into this, the pistol could be pivotal. If the CT side don't get off to a strong start, DreamEaters may build up the rounds that they need, and already 2 kills coming in as the A bomb side is under threat. 2 players in heaven attempting to hold down, and doing so successfully. BHR and Sparrow find both kills. Kinky now left in a 1 versus 3 to try and clutch it out for DreamEaters to get some rounds on the board early on. But the bomb is down, so he's going to have to take all of these fights.
Yeah, it does actually get a dink it against Caper, so that's a solid enough start. Forces Caper to go ahead and actually wrap around, but as you said, with the bomb down, it is going to be very difficult for him to try and retrieve this. Finds contact up against the player up on the rafters. It's Sparrow then who's down on the bomb site. They just need to peek this one together. Make sure that they can at least trade, but Kinky, he was given an opportunity, able to get Sparrow. But of course, Caper, he had gone ahead and taken that long route around, came around behind the main position, and had a very easy return. That is going to be AGO picking up the opening pistol round in a pretty convincing, I suppose, fashion. It was relatively convincing, at least initially, till it came down to Kinky getting a frag and a bit of damage in that 1-on-3.
Well, looking at the spot for DreamEaters, this round shouldn't exactly be a victorious one. It's going to be a difficult task to even get that bomb down. At least they have got themselves a smoke and a flashbang to play with, so they can potentially close in the gap on that bomb site. What's surprising enough is the fact that the flashbang isn't actually being thrown from up on top of the roof. It's actually outside in the T-spawn, where Kinky's currently holding down with that Glock. Puts him in a little bit of a risky spot. Oh, okay, they've spotted out the player pushing. Now they go all the way up onto T roof, and they're going to try to sandwich him. Furlan's in a lot of danger, being shot from above, and beside him, he will be taken down. And that's a nice reactive play from DreamEaters. They don't commit to the flashbang on the A bomb site, but they do manage to drop 1 player. But without a second on the board, it's not the worst of spots for AGO. They do play that round with a lot of SMGs, though, which is problematic. As Sparrow takes out an AWP, the rest of the team are going to be rocking SMs. And this kind of puts the economy in a weird spot. You see Caper still has a lot of money, so does Grubby, but Sparrow only has $50. Furlan as well on $1,200. So if they lose this round, they're going to spend quite a while getting their economy back up to a decent position.
Yeah, that would be the issue. Sparrow rather will be looking at a double eco, and we do actually see Caper trying to get aggressive with those SMGs. PHR doing the same towards ramp. He may be a little bit more successful than his teammate was. It's a dink at least that comes true, but quickly shut down by Crad, gives an opening now over to DreamEaters. They can push forward in towards ramp. They'll find themselves some good control, and it is up to Sparrow on that AWP to try and hold it down. He hits the first shot. Is that going to scare DreamEaters away? Is the question. And nade going through. Sviat is low. It actually does manage to take him down. The repeat on the up from Sparrow. He's just destroying them one by one. eventually gets traded out, but now it's a 2-on-2, a winnable position for AGO. But just as I say that, the head of Furlan being spotted gets taken off, and it's left on Groovy now. MP9 in hand and 2 opponents to try and take it against.
Never really going to be the easiest of positions to clutch back, and we talked about how important this round is for AGO. Losing this puts their economy in dire straits. Grubby is down towards the B bomb site, making his way to the ramp, and with that rotation time, I think in a 1v2, he's not going to have any time. Oh, okay, he picks up a kit, so he might still go for it. I was going to say he's not going to have any time to get in there and get the 10-second defuse. AWP saved, though. Or taken into his hands, should now be saved, I think. I'm not too sure if he's going to want to risk giving this away, and there's no time anymore to get in there and get the defuse alongside 2 kills. The round is over. He needs to just play safe, though. Again, very aggressive on the save. Posting up on angles where, you know, he could potentially even be traded if they were seeking the kill together.
They're going to buy now, though.
Yeah, but they will. But if Grubby wasn't able to save that op, that would have been a very scary spot where I don't think they would have went for a buy.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. If it wasn't for the op being sent over, they certainly wouldn't have been able to have actually bought in. But yeah, the op being carried over is a big save. It was a little bit interesting that he was kind of sticking around, as you said, risking losing it. Because with it being carried over, Sparrow is able to get that op dropped over. Groovy gets himself a rifle as well. PHR buys for himself, even if it's limited, as does Caper. And then Furlan's on a deagle. It's not amazing, they don't have a lot of utility, but there's certainly an opportunity for them to try and return this one quickly. And look at the pace right now from DreamEaters. They take it towards A. Up close to the vent is Furlan. Opening frags actually come in favor of AGO already, as somehow Furlan's allowed to escape for a moment. But trying to come back up the ladder, he goes down. It was Speedak with a quick double kill as well to open up A. And suddenly the advantage has been pulled in favor of DreamEaters.
Indeed it has, but Caper at least returns 1 kill. With the bomb down, DreamEaters are still the stronger team. They've got time on their side. But with a Mach 10 in play, that may give it a little bit of a deficit when you take that long-range battle up against Sparrow. Taken now by Kinky, though, long range. Now a crossfire, even in the Molotov. Kinky's going to sacrifice himself because Sviat swings out and takes the kill. The round is over. DreamEaters have found the victory. And now 2-2. They should face a very easy third round on the board for themselves. As AGO have no money. And will be saving over their economy for the next round. You'll notice that a nade and a flashbang bot here. I think it's going to be an outside rush. You know, you're going to lob that nade to try to get the damage done. A flashbang as well to blind your opponents. And then hopefully you can get the damage done. That's a good nade. Doesn't connect too much damage. And they don't actually pop the flash just yet. They're not going to fully rush outside. Instead, sitting in main and waiting for some contact. I like this. You can see Capers over towards the CT spawn. He's going to pop that flash as soon as they get contact. And then they're all going to swing out onto the long player. So if Kinky steps forward and tries to take outside control, he's going to be in a world of hurt. These are the kind of rounds that really help you out in the long run. Like, even 1 or 2 kills here will really help them out in terms of keeping DreamEaters' economy modest. That smoke is going to make them think that their strategy's working perfectly. They know there's a player towards outside, and they know he's probably inching ever closer to main. It's just all about playing the waiting game here. DreamEaters eventually take contact. It's Kinky. The flashbang didn't connect. So he's able to walk away with 3, but eventually taken down up close by PHR. And that's already a successful round for AGO if they can manage to save this AK forward. Also dropping a rifle from the DreamEaters' hands is always going to be helpful. It's always going to be a positive play. Just making some minor reinvestment come through to the next round.
Yeah, a bit of damage for Caper would be nicer. If he can maybe take down 1 or 2 more, it would be a good position. But not having a pistol, of course, other than the P2000 doesn't make that easy. But PHR is actually sticking around, so he may have a quick opportunity now against Fiat. Oh, that could have got awkward. Against the Mach 10 without Kevlar, if a couple bullets got connected quicker there from Fiat, the aim punch would have been an issue. Is he going to survive with that AK, though, is the question, because we do actually see Forrester trying to hunt it down as well. hunting in through Secret will end up dropping it in the end, so no AK going to be carried over. Of course, there is loss bonus working in favor of that AGO side, I believe, getting $2,900, so they will have a solid investment. But DreamEaters are off to a good start here on the D side. They're quickly getting their feet on the ground. You can see actually the last 5 matches they played have all been wins, so they are seemingly in pretty good form at the moment. And again, a reminder for anyone who may just recently be joining us, this is the map choice of AGO.
Wow, I've just checked out those stats. I mean, the last game the DreamEaters lost was against AGO, and since then, they've not dropped a single map. 4 best of 3s, all of which went 2-0 in their favor. One of which, the surprising one for me, was up against Chaos. They also managed to take down Super Yumi 2-0, and then a BO1 against Giants 16-13. AGO, on the other hand, they're not necessarily having the best of runs, certainly not in the Loot.bet Season 2. They lost in Omega 2-1. They lost to Tricked, which is definitely a forgivable loss. Yesterday we saw them take down Chaos. And now they're attempting to once again get DreamEaters below them. Looking at a very weak buy from AGO, though, coming into this round. They have no utility, just a minute in. And so DreamEaters are looking on the up and up because they have plenty of smokes, plenty of util to play with. And it's going to be a very awkward spot for AGO. The one thing going for them, though, is the fact they have got those 2 AUGs in play. Those players can benefit from the lack of smokes just by posting on the angles and catching them as they swing. Damage done at this Fiat, but Caper's baited into the open and taken down. Grubby luckily able to trade and keeping it in a positive position is the DreamEater side. Crad finds himself one by eliminating Furlan. Puts the CTs on the back foot, but talking about the back, PHR comes up behind, drops the bomb, gets his second kill. It's into a 1v1 with 66 HP. The swing is good. The timing works out, and it's 3-3. PHR saves the round with the ramp push.
Yeah, massive play coming through. Round going in favor of AGO, and as you can see right now, Kinky, sure, he is the kill leader, but coming into this round, there's not going to be all that much investment coming through for DreamEaters. They actually do spend everything, never mind. It gives them a couple of AKs, it gives them a bit of utility as well to work with, but there is also 3 players stuck down onto those pistols. CZ, P250, and a Tech 9 in play. But they have been able to cover quite a lot of ground already, a little bit of damage being put through the smoke as they try to cross over towards Kinky, but nothing too substantial, and we actually do end up seeing Crad being able to find the open and frag. It's Sparrow who goes down in towards the garage. And with that now, a 5-on-4 in favor of DreamEaters. This will be a very difficult round loss for AGO if they end up letting this one slip away. Oh, Groovy will actually be able to return one. Peeking in from a very similar position from Garage. Going to be looking to see if he can maybe take a bit more. Actually does get the opportunity on a second. And in the meantime, that shotgun at Caper has paid off. He's been able to get aggressive. Not only find a frag with it, but also get a nice upgrade to an AK. As Furlan may find some contact soon. Needs to be cautious down on B. If he falls, then there's an opportunity for DreamEaters to at least get the bomb planted. So I'd say playing this safe, maybe just setting up for the retake with his teammates is probably the best way to go about it. But for now, DreamEaters, they're taking their time, slowly approaching. There we go. 29 seconds remain, and they don't have a smoke, unfortunately. Trying to jump up and take the peak. PHR destroys Kinky. And Forrester is next to follow. Some deforestation, I suppose, is one way that you could put it. But 4-3, AGO going to go ahead and reclaim the lead. And of course, with that full investment having come in the previous round, the complete force buy from DreamEaters, in this one, they're not really able to buy anything at all. It looks like it will be mostly just Glocks in play, one P250 being upgraded. Let's see what they go for. Maybe a little bit of a faster approach, just trying to overwhelm one area of the map, see if they can perhaps even get towards the site to get the bomb down. For now, just going to be kind of chilling over in the lobby. Looks like they are going to be kind of setting up to head towards A eventually, but for the moment, just waiting, I suppose, to see if any aggression is going to come through. Maybe an opportunity. Speedak actually did buy up a Deagle as well, so there is a bit of an opportunity for them to find some openings. But for the moment, a bit of a stalemate, I suppose, coming through. A couple of players set up on the A-bomb site. It's Caper and Groovy. They will be ready for this push once it comes in. They still have a bit of utility as well. Most importantly, Groovy does have a Molotov that he can toss down in towards either the door or the hut once the push begins to come in. That's if he gets the opportunity, because of course AGO, they can, or rather DreamEaters, they can just try and burst out quickly. But for now, they've left the bomb back in lobby, and they're still just continuing to spread out. I guess they're going to leave this till time gets relatively low. PHR, though, peeks in towards ramp, is able to drop Sfia. And now with it being a 4-on-5, they do kind of just need to get a move on. You can see, finally, we do see Speedak move from the hut. Problem is, Molotov being thrown down forces him forward into the open. He's an easy kill for Groovy. And the wrapping towards Amen not going to work out too well either. It's a cleanup, not a single casualty coming through for AGO. All 5 players going to stay alive. That's good for them to build up a bit of money. DreamEaters will be coming back onto the buy now, but it's not perfect. They're not going to have an op. They're not going to have all that much utility. They should at least get the basics. But either way, 3 rounds is a decent start here on the T side. They'll be obviously looking for more, but they do have a lot of room to work with. Oh, look at this, a little bit of an outside stack actually coming in from AGO right now. Caper able to peek through the smoke and take down Kinky. Furlan as well, still up close. I don't think this is going to be expected. Jumps up on top of the red box, spots out Crad in the back lines. There's more opportunities as he just rains down bullets. It's 3 frags for Furlan, and suddenly Sviat's left all alone. He had got down Vent somehow, but he took damage in the process, leaving him on 41 HP in a 1 versus 4. At this point, the 6th round pretty much confirmed for AGO. Looking to try and creep up the ladder. Oh, I think he may have just been spotted by Sparrow. Yeah, Nade now ready as well, as both players focus their attention on this position. Flank coming down through Secret as well. There's already a player on B. There's pretty much nothing that Sviat can actually do in this position.
Yeah, the round's pretty much gone at this point. So that's 6 for AGO. He finds one more at least. Saving will be difficult though. They know where he is. Pretty much every exit is covered. And with 7 HP, the chances of him winning another fight are pretty low. Coming up the ladder, spotted and taken out by the P2000. That is going to be 6-3, and it's still not the worst position. You're 3 rounds on the board early on for DreamEaters is just fine. Problem is, losing at that buy round doesn't leave them with a whole lot of money left to play with. And for such a crucial round to be shut down by just 1 player, you know, they couldn't even get a foothold on it. They couldn't make a move. It was over before it began. With a couple pistols in play, they look to do some damage, maybe get a bomb plant to help their economy out in future rounds, but even still, a victory will be hard to come by. 4 deagles in play. The 1-shot headshots are certainly possible at all ranges with these beauties. But for now, AGO are going to be playing the long game. They're going to try to make it as difficult as possible for these pistols to have any impact. Keep themselves alive. Most importantly, Caper's rushed down, able to find himself one. And now just play a little bit more passive and let his teammates cover him.
Yeah, nice shot coming through from Sparrow there on the Kinky as well. A couple of frags would be nice for DreamEaters. Just as I say that, Speedak actually does find a couple of frags on the P250. Sparrow could be in trouble. That's a great shot onto Crad. P2000 out now as he drops Speedak to low HP and eventually finishes him off. He was on 13 health. If he went down right there, then it's a 2v2. There's an op in play for the T side to work with. Sviat could come out and maybe retrieve one of those weapons as well. It certainly could have got dangerous. But Sparrow, he manages to keep it under control and finish it off. 7-3. Two frags coming in for DreamEaters isn't terrible, of course, as they come back onto the buy now. And this time they have a much better buy than what we've seen in that previous gun round where they had limited utility, where they had only rifles, they didn't have the op in play. This time Speedak's on the op and they have pretty much everything they could ask for. But they need to start picking up some more rounds soon, because AGO now beginning to really find control. A positive is, I guess, that not everyone has built up all that much money, but on the other hand, PHR, Sparrow and Groovy, they have an abundance of cash in the bank.
Yeah, plenty of cash sheesh, and that's what you want to see over on the CT side, building up your economy. Like I said, you know, Furl and Caper do struggle, but drops are always possible. Once they can get the armor and util, which of course they will be able to, it's not too much of a worry if they do lose this round. But that's a big if. You know, we saw last time Furlan was able to shut down this DreamEaters buy. And if AGO win this one, they are starting to approach a pretty good scoreline. You know, then they're talking 9-6 guaranteed, and they can extend it further to double digits. Molotov going on through that's going to stop any push towards the ramp. Any aggression that DreamEaters were planning is no longer possible, at least not in the time frame that they expected. And Sparrow's able to reposition, get a nice angle on top of the box, and take down Forrester. A flashbang to allow a repeat as Grubby finds a kill elsewhere, but speeds the win to open the duel on ramp, with Kinky winning outside as well. The control goes into the hands of the T's with a 3-on-3, even despite the low HP on 2 players. They are able to just get a lot more of the map covered and make this defense a little bit more worried, as it's spread very, very thinly. PHR is still only worrying about the same angles, able to take down Kinky, and now focuses attention towards the ramp, where DreamEaters were looking to go down, but it looks like Heaven is now their new concentrated point. Going up the ladder gives away their position, though. Even still, damage onto Grubby. This is a winnable round, but with 12 seconds left, they have to go for the bomb plant, and as Caper pushes out, he shuts that down. No time left for okay, maybe he does have time, but he kills himself, so that doesn't help the situation.
Yeah, massive round coming through, and a little bit awkward from Speedak. It's ironic how slow this clip is. We're getting a rewind and everything. It's like he could jump super high and then fell back down. So it's like when you put on the was it gravity or like high jump or something in GTA San Andreas?
Oh, I don't know.
Gas. Did you not play GTA? How
No, I played GTA 4 was the first time.
Oh, hang on. I honestly thought that Forlan actually got a frag there. It turns out it was Caper who got 2. Could have been a lot worse for them, I suppose, but it is still a 3v2, so bit of an opportunity for DreamEaters to try and get something done, but Caper, he's dealing with it. Gets assistance from Sparrow to finish it off. It's 9-3. It really does seem like now, since AGO have been able to actually stabilize their own economy, they haven't really had much trouble. We seen early on, of course, the first gun round went in favor of DreamEaters. That allowed for them to build up a little bit, as AGO had the SMGs in play and didn't really have a lot of money. But since they've got back on these guns, it's been a real struggle for DreamEaters to really find anything. It's been relatively convincing rounds across the board from AGO.
At this point, look, 9-3. Excuse me, I'm starting to feel like DreamEaters. Okay. Need to get a hold on early round. They get a hold on early round. They push towards Secret, where they take down Caper. Now it's onto a 5v2. Low HP on Crowd and Forrester, but that ain't going to help because they've got plenty of teammates to trade them out whenever a battle comes in. AWP on Sparrow, watching the cross. Both remaining CTs have a nade in play, which could be very dangerous for Crowd and Forrester. But playing it slow in Secret's actually working out for them. No information in the hands of the CTs. They're starting to get a little bit jittery, going back up towards A, as PHR is left all alone. Sparrow has to now come down and make this retake happen from the ramp. Long-ranged 1v5. Lost control of the bomb site, swinging out. He's taken down by an AK wallbang. He was inside a Molotov as well. A nice round for DreamEaters, opening it up well and winning it very cleanly. So at least they're guaranteed a full buy for this round and indeed the next one. AGO still have some economy stacked, so a full buy will be coming out. But it's not a bottomless pit of economy. They will suffer if they lose this one, and DreamEaters will likely claim a 9-6 scoreline. Isn't too bad for the T side on Nuke.
Yeah, it's certainly not terrible. That's a wild play from Caper right there, trying to go in through Hut. Is at least able to find one off of it, but a one-for-one trade, as we've said many times before, Mitch, does tend to favour that T side. Maybe even more so on Nuke. Oh, PHR has a little bit of a gap in the smoke that he's looking to work with. I think he did spot the leg just a moment ago. He's being cautious, doesn't want to hang around once the smoke begins to fade, realising that there's probably an op in position. Sparrow and his op's going to come in. 3 HP for Speedak, the nade comes through. Doesn't actually manage to connect. So it remains in that 4-on-4 for now, but HP-wise, there is a bit of an advantage for AGO to work with at least. What's the plan, though, for DreamEaters? They still have just around a minute remaining, so they're not really in too much of a rush. And they do have Sviat down on B, of course, who's in a great position. Seems like Sparrow has a read on it, though, and connects the shot very easily as the back is exposed.
Positive signs for AGO. Remember, they will face a full buy in the next round, but 10 rounds on the board would be More than enough. I think they'd be feeling pretty happy with that scoreline, even if it went 10-5. They still have to close this out, though, and there's an opportunity for DreamEaters to pull it back. The low HP player has an AWP. They've spotted one behind the bomb site, so the information to play with now. They'll suspect one to be in heaven. As the P comes out in the bomb site, though, Furlan still wins the fight, even though they were completely ready for it. He's being approached on up close. Grubby takes him down. That's all on speed. 3 HP and a Dream. With an AWP, he will get a bomb plant. It doesn't really help them, though, because they have more than enough money for the next round either way. The only way this helps is if they win the round. They're looking for an AWP scope. Danny spots one at the door, finds it! Ready for the single push as well, but unfortunately, PHR is the one to win at that duel a little bit too early on. And AGO will get 10 rounds on the board as DreamEaters, like I said, still have the money for the next round. No problem. They literally can't spend all that money unless they start dropping weapons everywhere. But 10-5 is an ideal scoreline at this point for DreamEaters. It's where they need to be. You don't want to be finishing off with 4 rounds on the T side. It's enough, but oftentimes, especially if you think about AGO and what we've said about them in pretty much every game we've seen them in, these guys are a T-sided team on most maps. It's where they pick up most of the rounds. And if you allow them to have an 11-4 CT side, it becomes very difficult to connect the victory.
I mean, it's not impossible if you get that second pistol round. If you lose it, though, of course it is very, very difficult. So it's not going to be the best position. But DreamEaters, they still have an opportunity here to try and find that 5th round. If they can get that, they keep themselves in an okay position. And Sviat just walking straight out door actually does find the open and drops down the vent. And Caper actually getting taken down through the smoke just a couple of seconds afterwards by Crad. Puts AGO in a pretty difficult position indeed. At this point now, that 5th round looking quite likely for DreamEaters unless Sparrow and PHR can manage to save the day.
Two v5 saving the day is certainly the correct analogy here. It's kind of like Superman going to come in and perform a miracle with 2 scopes, a 2v5, a bomb site about to be under siege, and with the players definitely not in position to stop an A push, it's going to be a 2v5 retake. That makes things just a little bit more awkward, but Sparrow's actually going to spot one coming out through. Outside, misses the shot. Uncharacteristic, a second shot whiffed as well. And now things are very awkward for him. He's able to creep around, and the Molotov... Oh, okay, he's heard scoping in, so never mind. I'm going to say he might catch Sviat off guard, but Sviat heard that scope. He knows exactly where he is, swinging out with a deagle. Oh, maybe he doesn't know exactly where he is. He thinks he's down towards Secret. He falls, but look at the HP on these guys. They're obviously going to go for it because it's the last round of the half. But the odds of connecting this are very, very low.
Yeah, as you said, it has to be gone for, but time hardly ticking away. I don't even think it's possible anymore for them to reach the bomb and get the defuse in, even if there wasn't players, or at least it'd be a close one. But there we go, PHR, although he does find 2 quick frags, it's not really going to amount to much as you would expect as the trade comes through. And it is going to be 10-5 at halftime, so certainly not the worst position for DreamEaters to be in, but it's also not the best. They're going to need to come into the second half, ideally get rolling early on, pick up that pistol, get off to a solid start on the first gun round as well. Otherwise, it could be a struggle for them for sure. And Forrester right now sitting at 2-11. He's not having a great performance at all. Furlan, he's actually on 6 frags, but he had that one where he was able to actually find 3 on outside, which was just so impactful for winning them the round, and also with it being a swing round. I believe that was actually the 6th round, so the one just after DreamEaters had taken 3 in a row.
Yeah, built up momentum for AGO, and indeed, like you said, those 3 kills contributed to an entire round. With AGO feeling pretty good on 10-5, will DreamEaters be able to come back into it? The pistol round could be very important. If AGO pick it up, they're off to a strong start.
Loot.bet, made for live betting.
Well, we've just seen a 10-5 CT half for AGO, and now they move to their T side, where they generally feel a lot more comfortable. Are we going to see them coming out on top? Well, the pistol round could be a massive factor in determining that. This is map number 1, AGO's map pick. So we expect to see them with a strong performance, especially on the T side. Although historically on Nuke, that's not really been what we've seen.
Oh, look how quick this play is though. PHR and Caper actually opening up almost immediately. Speedak is able to trade one back, but being up in heaven, there's not really too much more that he can do. Peeking out against those Glocks is a dangerous face. Oh, he actually does rip the face off a Caper before being traded out by PHR. So, of course, now that leaves Crowd all alone. He's around in ramp, going to try and come up the ladder, but he makes a lot of noise in the process. There is at least a kit to be retrieved. Speedak, of course, had dropped that one, but with 3 opponents, the bomb already taken away. Unless AGO makes some serious mistakes and keep facing him, then I don't think he's going to be given the chance to do it. And they almost gave him the opportunity there. He actually got one frag. If he had connected that shot towards the player peeking from door, then that was certainly a winnable position. But yeah, in the end, AGO able to find it. They extend the lead up to 11-5. And with that now, DreamEaters are looking at just taking an eco, it seems.
Indeed, second round eco coming through, and with 2 SMGs in play, AGO again, I do like their second rounds. I think pretty much every time I've seen them winning the pistol round, they go through with a buy that to me just makes the most sense. Having yourselves 2 SMGs allows you to still have a really good chance of winning round number 3. Good potential to farm money in round number 2, and doesn't impact your economy too much if you do decide to reinvest in the next round, or if you are forced to reinvest, because you can lose 2 players here without really being too worried. But 2 at most. You don't want to lose any of those rifles that you've bought up. Moving. Oh, nice shots by Kinky, but he can't connect any further after the initial 2. And Caper survives with 8 HP. Crad has managed to retrieve an AK-47, but is getting a little bit aggressive with it. That could cause some problems. If he lost that, they'd be able to obviously retrieve it on Caper. Come into the round, one of the things we said was that we didn't want to see AGO losing any of these rifles. I mean, it gets even worse if it's the CT side saving one of the rifles that they've lost.
It's a decent recovery from Crad. Some solid damage as well. If they had been able to drop Caper only leaving 2 alive, then it probably would have actually impacted the buy in the next round. But it's probably just going to be Caper dropping over that MP5, probably to Sparrow maybe. Of course, as he sits on $0 going into this round, he will get a little bit more, up to 3,500. But yeah, you'd imagine the MP5 being dropped over Caper probably to get himself a rifle. Forlin can rebuy for himself as well, so AGO not going to struggle too much, but it doesn't leave them with all that much money left in the reserve. Oh, and actually, what way is this being spread out? Sparrow did get an AK, I believe, but I think it may have been dropped over by Groovy instead. Caper keeping that money in play. And of course, with the AK actually being carried over for DreamEaters as well, it gives them a slightly better buy, at least on the Crad. It allows for a defuse kit to come out, which otherwise I think would have been a little bit of a struggle. They might have had to have gone for maybe an SMG.
Well, it doesn't really matter what AGO have pulled out, because DreamEaters have managed to shut them down on this aggression early on. With Grubby falling as well, Caper, in an AK-47 in his hand, is the only remaining opportunity for AGO to clock up more T-side rounds right here and now. DreamEaters are looking to have found one on the board, but for me, I want to see kind of 2 to 3 kills in this round. There's a second, a third, ideally, just to really hit that economy hard on the CT side. Problem is, Caper's 16 HP, so he's relying on connecting that first bullet, and walking backwards into Crad certainly won't make that too much more likely. He does turn around, but even still, his head taken off. It's 12-6, and DreamEaters do face some significant enough reinvestment. Crad's probably going to drop over. The util that has to be bought up here as well will be pretty costly. So it keeps a lot of players down on relatively low economy. You can see there's going to be 3 that are on it, 4 even, that are unable to buy completely in the next round if they do lose right here. And AGO make the force buy happen, again, with a read on the opponent's economy, but it is still a pretty rough round to try and win. Oh, big gap in that smoke.
Yeah, and they do end up paying quite a big price for it. It's the life of Groovy that they do give over. All the info, of course, as well, able to be spotted by that Opper watching the cross. Speedak able to give that info over to his teammate allows for them to go ahead and try and set up down towards B, which they are now beginning to do. But it's a little bit late, so they aren't really able to take more of an aggressive stance. Instead, they are going to have to kind of just hold more so towards the bomb site. Sviat does at least have this position, but they're also not really in spots where they can work off of each other if the fight comes in immediately. Bit of a spam from PHR looking to try and stop that position from Kinky from being too effective, but he wasn't able to connect much. And is he going to expect for Kinky to actually still be up here? Apparently not, because it's an easy frag. Right now it's been spread across for DreamEaters. Sviat takes a second for himself eventually, but now it's all on Caper. 1 versus 5. The 7th round pretty much confirmed for DreamEaters at this point. It's a foregone conclusion, but maybe Caper can make it a little bit more expensive, drop 1 or 2 weapons at least.
I think it's just going to be the one with 4 HP. All right, Caper. Never mind. You know, I was just trying to do a thing. Don't worry about it. He takes a second with a quick headshot and swings down for a third as well, just to really hammer home the point. He's got 4. Deeney's not going to win this round, is he? He's got 4 kills on the board, a bomb as well, going up towards A. He's going to get the bomb plant. That's a jinx if ever I've seen one. Push coming up from Crad, though, is expected. Can he land the headshot? No, not in time. If he had a little bit more HP, he could have gotten 1 bullet off, but Crad saves the round, and I don't think I've ever been proven so wrong so quickly.
Yeah, that could have been very, very scary. And even with them getting that round win there on DreamEaters, that's going to be one where they're like, what the hell, guys? Look at their money now. They could have been in a good position with enough for a full buy in the reserve. Instead, now they're in a pretty difficult position where their economy's kept low. Positive is, we aren't going to see AGO been able to buy into this round, most likely. Bomb plant did go down, so I think they're relatively close. You can see Pistols, probably Kevlar coming out as well. And of course, Caper right now, he is the frag leader, sitting at 21-6, I believe. That previous round, although he didn't win it, was still very impactful, as I said, in keeping that economy modest.
Modesty is the best policy when it comes to managing the other team's economy. As we look to DreamEaters, like you said, not a lot of money there. They are feeling pretty poor, but AGO with the investment into this round shouldn't stand to get too much done. They are pretty weak on pistols, although they've made their way down towards Secret with the bomb in hand. Bomb plant is possible. Well, it was until Sparrow got dropped out in the open, attempting to make it happen. That bomb's going to have to be retrieved and put down under the strict guidance of Sviat, who's holding towards the ramp. He's going to try to make sure that that bomb is untouchable for the rest of the round. You can see at the moment the way he's scoped in, he's got a pre-aim over towards the single door, but he can also spot double if they were to walk out. It's visible around the left side of his scope. Now playing with Kinky to cover both of these angles. AGO are just hoping that DreamEaters make a mistake here, that they play a little too aggressive. It doesn't happen. And one thing I would have liked to see there, just one small point, is that when Furlan pushes out, I'd really like it if PHR was going as well. If they both pushed out of the doors at the same time, they have a better chance of making it there. Just overwhelm them with numbers so they can't kill all of you, or both of you. Ideally. No kill to go through in this round, so DreamEaters do stack up a little bit of economy. And on 12-8, they're making the comeback happen. But now AGO have 1 more round to go. So that comeback is going to just continue to mount up, continue to gain momentum. And if AGO don't find some kills here, that economy could definitely get out of hand on the DreamEater side.
Back on the Deagles again for AGO. You'd still have to be scared. Caper has a Deagle in his hands, so does PHR, both very capable players, but slowly but surely, DreamEaters have worked their way back into this one. For anyone who may just recently be joining us, this is the map choice of AGO. Dust 2 will be coming up next to pick a DreamEaters, but they lost it relatively recently to AGO. That was actually the last game that they lost, I believe. The last map that they've lost over these past 3 or so weeks. They've been having a pretty good performance. Bit of damage there being connected by the Opper on towards PHR, but through the box, only 10 HP being taken off of him. Not too big of a deal. There's actually been some good ground being covered by AGOs. They do get that full control on outside. But some aggression coming through from the CT side to try and counteract it. It allows for Forrester to get one kill, but being traded out very quickly, and now a potential rifle to even be retrieved for that CT, or for that T side, and it actually has on Caper. So that's certainly a scary prospect right now.
Two kills down for the CT side. AGO, again, trying to get that bomb down, but it's proving to be difficult. Sparrow has managed to pick it up, and he's going to make his way towards the A-bomb site, but greeted by Crad with a not-so-friendly greeting. Only one weapon dropped on the CT side, so the reinvestment is minimal, and they now stack up their money, gaining control over their economy for what could be the first time on their CT side. AGO now are the ones that have a bit of responsibility on their back. They've got to find themselves a convincing scoreline in this round, a convincing round rather, keep their money a little bit better. And not only that, but they have to win 2 in a row before they see any benefit, as DreamEaters will be able for a full buy even if they do lose this one. 12-9, and focus early on towards outside by the looks of things. I've got 2 players there, one up on top of wide as well, and one sitting still in T-spawn lining up a smoke. Grubby goes back to help out a little bit as well. And the smokes towards outside will seek that control. I know there was a player towards garage, so smoke obviously cutting Forrester off almost completely. He has to peek out towards the right side of garage. He should be ready for him as he does so. I think it's Grubby up on top of the mushroom. Okay, Furlan pushes through. That's so risky! That angle from Forrester just isn't expected at all. And he's going to be able to find one. Knows there's a player up close, but Furlan manages the trade, keeping AGO ahead by a small margin. The 1-for-1 trades obviously favoring them. Then down goes Kinky, which looks even better. The Molotov stops Speed from pushing forward and does quite a bit of damage to him in the process as well. Now it's DreamEaters kind of spread out. They don't have a lot of map control. They're seeking some information, and as they do, Crad goes down, which just makes the round look even bleaker.
Yeah, and Speedak as well getting taken down, leaving Sviat all alone. There's enough economy in the bank for the rebuy, but we see Forrester actually only on $350, so saving this AUG probably worthwhile just for it to be dropped over. The 13th round being found for AGO now as they begin to pick up a little bit more on this T side, but as I said, DreamEaters having enough to rebuy now into this next round. If they can try and return it quickly, then they keep themselves in a pretty good position. It will have to be a pretty flawless half from this point forward, though there's not a lot of room for mistakes. You can see Sviat, I think he wants that up right there. The problem is, I believe it's Furlan who's just sitting in the spawn watching it. So if he tries to go forward and get that even after the bomb explodes, he could be in trouble. And with his current position, the bomb maybe could have actually taken him down. So you run straight for the up to try and get it before it goes off. And sadly, he's going to be taken down by Furlan. So there it is. No weapons to be saved over at all. That slightly limits the buy, at least for Forrester coming into this round. But as you can see, they still are going to invest. Oh, and I think they are actually able to drop over a UMP at least. So it's not terrible. No kitten play. Oh, just as I say, that Sviat does get one.
I said that of the money to buy. I did think it would be stronger than this, to be honest. UMP coming out on Forrester obviously is not ideal, but it's workable. The aggression coming through doesn't see much reward, and Speed with the AWP finds one, but immediately goes down. These trades are good. PHO's got the angle to find 2. Catches them swinging out on main, and now things are looking bad. It's a 2v1. Sviat, though, has one benefit to gain. The fact that PHO is down to just 5 HP. That man's already found 4 kills on the board in this round. He is looking for the ace with that AWP. And actually a double op setup, but I think it's kind of necessary unless Sparrow wants to take an AK here. PHO with an op makes a lot of sense considering his low HP. You want to have that one-shot potential. Indeed, Sparrow does take an AK-47, which I think is the right call so long as he's comfortable giving up that scoped weapon. They're going to look for the planet now, and you would imagine it would be for Heaven. PHO, okay, no, it's not going to be, because PHO is just cleared out, nobody in Squeaky. They know Vents is closed as well, so they're just going to plan for main at this point, which kind of makes sense, with him being so low as well. The bad thing for Sviat is he has to open those vents. Making his way up, though. He's got a little bit of an angle. You can see what he's looking for. He can spot some information. If he can see somebody, he could swing out. He suspects someone to be towards the vents, but unfortunately, that's the wrong call. And we're spread out a little bit more. And then with a 14-9 scoreline, AGO now going to be stacked, going to be getting weapons out for a couple rounds, but DreamEaters not in the same boat. They've got to give match point over unless they want to force buy here. The problem is a force buy right now could really cost them the rest of the map. Because if they were to force, they have no money then for the next round. They'd probably lose the force buy. Just the nature of force buys. And then AGO would walk away with a 16-9. They're going to attempt to fight for an overtime, which even still is going to be pretty difficult. Because you're talking like, presuming AGO do win this round, you're talking about winning 7 rounds in a row, which isn't easy on any map on any side.
Certainly is not, Mitch. A man advantage as well in this round, already going in favor of AGO. Not a lot expected from DreamEaters, of course, only having those pistols. They would at least like to get something done. There's always hope, I guess, in these rounds. Like, okay, guys, we can take this one, but let's mostly focus on the gun round. And it looks like that is going to be what they're going to have to do. 7 in a row, or rather 6 in a row, to take it to overtime.
Yeah. Let's go for 16. I don't know why in my head that's how it works.
Yeah, it threw me off, Mitch. I just accepted your math, then I looked at the score and was like, hang on, that's not right. This guy done math in college as well. What the hell?
I may have studied it, but I never said I was good at it. That's one thing. The 15-9. Like the, I don't know how you're feeling about DreamEaters' chances. I ain't feeling too good. But they've still put up a decent fight on this map, the map pick of AGO. If they can even just find, you know, get up to 11, 12 rounds, make it close, get themselves up there for positive mentality, you know, set the foundations for the next map. Right now it does feel like AGO are the ones that are in control, and you don't want that sense of control to be in the hands of your opponents as you move over to your map pick.
It's going to be tough. Look at the ground that AGO have already managed to cover. The dink actually came through on the caper, but he flicks up for a quick headshot. Sure, he does get traded, but he gives his teammates a chance now to move forward. Forlin on low HP still manages to take down Sviat in heaven. There's another player up close to the smoke who should be spotted very quickly indeed, but the smoke goes down. A second one in play. It allows for him to stay alive a little bit longer. It gives Kinky an opportunity to make a play, as it does for Speedak, but as he pushes out from heaven, quickly taken down, leaves Kinky now in a difficult 1 versus 2. But at least the bomb is yet to be planted, so there's an opportunity. PHR directly below, actually given the opportunity on Groovy, as PHR isn't watching heaven, spots the head, but I believe now the info has been exchanged. Both aware of each other's positions as Kinky decides to back off and play this a little bit more intelligently, as he does still have just around 40 seconds remaining. He can go ahead and, I guess, make his position in question in the mind of PHR, but he goes for the peak and PHR was ready. A headshot comes through. 16-9, Mitch. A pretty solid performance, a pretty solid showing from AGO overall. DreamEaters only at points were able to show us glimpses of what they're capable of, really.
Yeah, we certainly saw some glimpses of hope, or some glimmers of hope from these guys. You can really see what was being aimed for there by Kinky in the final moments of that round. Once the flashbang went down, he knew that the player was going to be going for the bomb, so he had a pretty rough idea where to be aiming when he went up on top of the ladder. Problem was PHR, of course, already watching heaven, you know, trained in on that angle, and able to walk away with the frag. Now we take a look at the situation. AGO coming into this as the favorite team. They're the team that beat DreamEaters 2-0